I do have a touchy question for you. It's an awkward one because so little has been talked about it. Um, you obviously know about the 2018 uh, Hockey Junior Canada scandal that has led to 5 arrests, the World Junior team, um, and 4 of the 5 players that have been implicated in this investigation are in the NHL, and one of them happens to be a Flyers goalie, Carter Hart, as well as 2 members of the New Jersey Devils, my team, Mike McLeod and Cal Foote. The reason I'm bringing this up to you, I'm not asking you to comment on sexual assault. That's not what this podcast is about. I'm amazed, at least from the New Jersey side, how little is being discussed. And here's where I'm going to put some context in it. To pretend that they didn't exist is weird. And whether it's a coach, a president, whether it's a general manager, an owner, I don't know who, and I'm not sure I know what to say, but to not ignore the elephant in the room, I think is a mistake. And I think acknowledge it. Do not condone the action. You can rip them if you want. Say something. It is so awkward. And what made me want to bring this up to you was I saw a bunch of Carter Hart jerseys at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, it was a popular jersey. The thing, look, I think the NHL teams, to varying degrees, because every team's got different leadership and handles how they, message to their fans differently. So it would be varying based on that. But I think the NHL has put a muzzle on because they don't want varying messages, number one. It's why you saw all those kind of press releases read the same way. So-and-so is asked for a leave of absence. We have granted it. I think there's a lot of things in play because this has obviously been going on a long time, and we're waiting for this report to come out for so long. I thought it was going to come out 2 years ago, then this offseason, and it didn't come out, and there was a cloud around every guy that was on that 2018 roster. Like they couldn't be traded.
Kale McCarr.
Yeah, they couldn't participate in the World Hockey Championships when their season was over. They couldn't play internationally. So it just led to all this wild speculation. And then obviously we get the arrest warrants that come down, and the 5 players that, the London Police Department decided to arrest and charge. So I think there's a couple complicating factors. I think things would have come out sooner, but like the NHL couldn't suspend guys for actions that took place when maybe they weren't NHL guys. They hadn't signed a contract yet. Were some of the guys under 19 in Canada? That's the age of adult, and are you going to punish a guy before he has his day in court? So there's all these weird elements, and the NHLPA is involved. And, lawyers fighting lawyers about how to handle this and what report comes out first. Is it the police report? Is it the Team Canada investigation? Is it the NHL investigation? Right. So the NHL, I think I don't know this, but I would imagine they said, we'll give you relief on the cap because obviously those players are not going to play. They were all on expiring deals, so they all knew something was possible.
Yep.
And they have to have their day in court. If they have their day in court and they're exonerated, we'll deal with it. If they aren't exonerated, they'll obviously be incarcerated, because this is a serious, serious offense. But we cannot get in the way, or we cannot usurp the judicial process. But to your point, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel, you'd like to see your team go, hey, everybody bought Carter Hart's jersey. We'll have a day where you can trade that in for a New Jersey, or trade that in and get 50% off a Sean Couturier jersey or a Travis Konechny jersey, right? And do something for those fans. But I just think their hands are tied, and the edict's been handed down from Broadway and the league office. But it doesn't make it feel any better. And look, they say this trial could take 2 years. Every one of these players, you're talking about a World Junior team for 2000, right in the prime of their career. And I look, I don't know their level of guilt. I don't know any of the evidence or any of that stuff. You do know there's some weird things about it with, like, you see the Duke lacrosse case, which turned out to be
Mm-hmm.
nothing. There was nothing. There was no there. And then you look at
Of
this,
course.
and the victim in this case did take a $3.9 million settlement. I mean, that how does that play into all this? Does what
Oh,
happens if
I'm
God
not saying these guys
lesser?
are
Yeah,
toast, right? I'm not saying that either. My whole argument is Mike McLeod was the Devils' best faceoff guy. He was the number one faceoff guy in the effing league. To not acknowledge that they miss him
yeah.
from a pure hockey standpoint is naive.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
what
I
I
mean, look at the
what,
Flyers too right
and
now. Like, Carter Hart was their starting goaltender. Their
that's right.
biggest strength was they had two.
That's
Now you have
exactly right.
1.2. You have
That's
Urson
exactly
and a bad
right.
backup.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's and he's the goalie. Like it's to me they're very similar situations, and
They're
I'm not
consequential players.
right. And
Yeah.
they just disappeared.
I saw Carter trending yesterday on my Twitter, and I'm like, why is he trending all of a sudden? It's because Cal Peterson, the Flyers' backup goaltender, let in 7 goals, and everybody blamed Carter because he's not here because he got arrested.
right.
So you're right. The whole thing, I don't know how it's going to play out, and um, the whole thing's ugly, and we'll see in time. But time takes time.